Hidden inside nearly every cell in your body is a microscopic instruction manual. It's so small you can't see it with your eyes. Yet, if you unspooled all of the DNA inside just one of your cells, it would stretch out to be about 2 meters or 6 feet long. Now consider that you have trillions of cells. Multiply that 2 meters by trillions, and the total length of your DNA could stretch from the Earth to the Sun and back, not just once, but hundreds of times. But DNA isn't just a fantastically long molecule. It's the ultimate architect. It's the code that built your brain, meticulously laying down connections for every thought. It's the blueprint for your heart, programming its very first beat. It's the strategist behind your immune system and the artist that chose the color of your eyes. Today, we're shrinking down, journeying past the cell wall and into the nucleus to explore one of biology's greatest masterpieces, your DNA. Nearly every cell in your body, from a cell on the surface of your skin to a hard-working liver cell or a neuron firing in your brain, contains the exact same master set of instructions. They all carry the same genetic library, and this library has a vault. It's called the nucleus. Think of the nucleus as the world's most secure, most densely packed library. But instead of books, it stores chromosomes. Humans typically have 46 chromosomes, neatly arranged into 23 pairs. One set of 23 comes from your mother, the other from your father. These chromosomes are not just loose strands, they are masterpieces of biological engineering. To fit 6 feet of DNA into a space a fraction of the width of a human hair, the cell packages it with incredible precision. The DNA wraps tightly around proteins called histones, forming a complex known as chromatin. This chromatin is then folded and looped and coiled into the compact structures we recognize as chromosomes. This organization isn't just for storage, it's a dynamic filing system, allowing the cell to quickly access specific chapters or genes it needs, while keeping others tucked away. Together, these 46 chromosomes hold the entire story of you, written in a language of about 3 billion letters. So let's zoom in even closer on one of these letters. The DNA molecule itself is famous for its shape, a twisted ladder we call the double helix. The long sides of the ladder, the backbone, are made of alternating sugar and phosphate molecules. But the magic is in the rungs. Each rung is made of 2 chemical letters called bases, joined in the middle. And remarkably, the entire genetic alphabet has only 4 letters: adenine, which we call A, thymine, or T, cytosine, C, and guanine, G. These letters have a strict pairing rule. A always pairs with T, and C always pairs with G. This elegant simplicity is the key to life's complexity. It ensures that the 2 strands of the helix are perfect complements of each other. If you know the sequence of letters on one side, you automatically know the sequence on the other. This rule is absolutely critical because it allows DNA to be copied with incredible accuracy every single time a cell divides. Just as 4 musical notes can be arranged to create an infinite number of symphonies, these 4 DNA letters, arranged in countless sequences, can build an entire human being. But how does a chemical code actually build a body? DNA doesn't do the heavy lifting directly. Instead, it holds the recipes. These recipes are called genes. Humans have about 20,000 genes that code for proteins. Each gene is a specific stretch of DNA that tells the cell how to build one specific protein. The process is a beautiful molecular dance. First, a section of DNA containing a gene unwinds. Then, a machine inside the cell creates a copy of that recipe, not in DNA, but in a similar molecule called messenger RNA, or mRNA. This mRNA copy then travels out of the nucleus to the cell's factory floor, where another machine reads the recipe and assembles the protein, amino acid by amino acid. This flow of information from DNA to RNA to protein is so fundamental, it's known as the central dogma of molecular biology. And proteins do almost everything. They form the structural components of your body, like collagen in your skin and keratin in your hair. They act as enzymes to digest your food. They form the hemoglobin that carries oxygen in your blood. They are the antibodies that fight off infections and the messengers that allow your brain cells to communicate. Every second of every day, millions of proteins are being built in your body, all following the master blueprint held in your DNA. Now, for a long time, scientists were puzzled because these protein-coding genes only make up about 2% of our DNA. What about the other 98%? It was once dismissed as junk DNA. We now know that couldn't be further from the truth. This non-coding DNA is the control panel. It's filled with millions of genetic switches, enhancers, promoters, silencers that tell the genes when to turn on, how strongly, and in which cells. A gene that builds a heart muscle protein needs to be active in the heart, but silent in the brain. The instructions for that timing and location are written in the non-coding DNA. It's the difference between having a list of ingredients and having a full recipe with step-by-step instructions. Of course, no copying process is perfect. Every time one of your cells divides, it must copy all 3 billion letters of its DNA. And while this process is astonishingly accurate, occasionally a mistake happens. A letter might get swapped, deleted, or inserted. This is called a mutation. The word mutation can sound alarming, but most are completely harmless. The change might land in a non-critical stretch of DNA, or it might not change the resulting protein at all.
Some mutations can even be beneficial, providing a new trait that helps an organism adapt. But sometimes a mutation occurs in a critical spot. It might change a gene so that the protein it codes for is misshapen and can't do its job, which can lead to inherited diseases. Or a mutation might hit one of those non-coding switches, causing a gene to be turned on when it should be off, a key step in the development of many cancers. Small changes can sometimes have big consequences. While some mutations are a natural and unavoidable part of life, you can take steps to protect your DNA from unnecessary damage and support your body's incredible built-in repair systems. First, don't smoke. Tobacco smoke is a cocktail of chemicals that directly attack and damage DNA, which is why it so significantly increases the risk of multiple cancers. Second, protect your skin. Ultraviolet, or UV, radiation from the sun is a powerful mutagen. It can slice through your skin cells and damage their DNA. That's why using sunscreen, wearing protective clothing, and seeking shade are not just about preventing sunburn, they're about protecting your genetic code. Third, eat a colorful, nutrient-rich diet. The antioxidants found in fruits and vegetables help neutralize damaging molecules called free radicals. Other nutrients in whole foods act as essential components for the very enzymes your cells use to repair DNA damage. Fourth, exercise regularly. Physical activity helps reduce chronic inflammation, a state that can put stress on cells and lead to DNA damage. It also supports overall metabolic health, creating a better environment for your cells to thrive and repair themselves. Fifth, get enough sleep. Sleep isn't just for your brain, it's when your body performs essential maintenance. Deep within your cells, DNA repair processes kick into high gear while you rest, fixing the damage accumulated throughout the day. And finally, limit alcohol. Heavy alcohol use is linked to DNA damage. Its breakdown product in the body, a chemical called acetaldehyde, can directly harm the DNA molecule, increasing the risk of several cancers. So, what is DNA? It's far more than a simple genetic code. It's the blueprint for every protein, every cell, every organ. It's the story of evolution written in your body and the instruction manual for your future.
Inside a molecule thinner than a strand of spider silk lies the intricate set of instructions that makes you uniquely you. And every healthy choice you make, sleeping well, staying active, eating nutritious foods, protecting your skin, and avoiding tobacco, helps create a healthier, more stable environment for the trillions of cells that rely on those instructions every single day. Because understanding your DNA isn't just about genetics, it's about understanding yourself. If you enjoyed this microscopic journey, subscribe to CellWise Health, where science meets everyday health.